Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 41 of Around the World in 80 Tangos. Today we make a wish come true for Annegret from Dresden, and her wish was a waltz.
Number is called Atardecer, which means sunset. It's a recording from 1946 by the orchestra of Donato Racciatti. The singer is Luis-Alberto-Fleitas.
Most of the people say tango argentino, but there are also people say tango from the Rio de la Plata.
Especially people from Uruguay or Montevideo, they always feel like a bit set back by the mentioning of Buenos Aires as the capital of tango, but tango is also very strong in Uruguay.
And today our orchestra is from Uruguay.
Yes. The problem with orchestras from Uruguay that sometimes you have a lack of sources. So I couldn't get any information about the composer of this number, Eduardo-de-Pauli. I checked all my normal sources and I didn't find anything, not even his birth date.
Maybe he wasn't born.
I got some information about the lyricist, Antonio Casciani, and of course about Donato Racciatti, but all the others, including the singer, are unknown to my sources. Maybe one of our listeners can give informations. We would be grateful.
In the spring of my blooming age, I met her at dusk. Beautiful, bright, dream of my life. Mistress of my heart, to you I gave my passion. Hours spent happily at her side. Happily we built a love nest. While the moon with his light bathed her blonde hair like a ray of sunshine. But the godless death took away my happiness and snatched my only dream away. Desperate over my cruel misery, I walk forever with my faithful song. Afternoon breeze, the sun dies. Memories that will never, ever come back. I feel my life is consuming, and in search of her soul, it will soon pass away.
This reminds me of an essay of Edgar Allan Poe, the author of The Raven. He made a little text about the production of a poem, and he said the easiest way to create an emotional, melancholic, poetic atmosphere is to tell something about the loss of a beloved person who is dead. So I think many tango poets follow this rule.
There's a funny story about the writer of the lyrics.
Yes, the author, his name is Antonio Casciani. He is called the newspaper vendor and poet in his short biography I found. He was born 1901 and he was all his life vending newspapers. And one day, as a young man, he read in a Spanish magazine by the name El-mundo-gráfico an interview with Carlos Gardel. Carlos Gardel stated in this interview that he is singing lyrics written by humble sons of the people. And Antonio said, that's me. I'm a humble son of the people. And then he started to write lyrics for tango songs. And one day, Gardel was in Montevideo in 1928. He was on the way to Spain, to one of his tours. And he had a meeting with friends, some football cracks and everybody. And then little Antonio Casciani approached this group. And in this time, José Razzano, the guitar player of Gardel, was his manager, and he tried to keep him away, to send him away. But then he managed to present one of his tangos. The title is Farabute. Farabute is a Lunfardo word which means somebody who is dealing with the wrong people, with pimps and gangsters and everything. And he tells a story that his mother lies on the dying bed since weeks and he doesn't care and he should go back to her and have a normal, humble life. This is the content of the song. And then he sang it, and after he finished, Gardel raised from the table, patted his arm and said, "Hey, give me this lyric, I will sing it with all my heart, and you will earn some money."
And he did it.
And he did. And later he wrote this song, Atardecer, which means sunset.
I like this waltz. It is fresh, it comes light. Thank you, Annegret. I haven't known this waltz before.
Yeah, it's full of energy, and for me it's a bit a mix of D'Arienzo and Canaro, like Canaro on speed in a way. And this is what made Donato Racciatti famous and very popular in Uruguay and all Latin America, where he toured extensively.
He was born in Italy.
He was born in Italy, and then he radicated in Uruguay, where he always felt like an Uruguayan, and the people loved him for that. Although he also played in Buenos Aires, but he stayed to Uruguay. In 1940, he played with the orchestra of Laurens Casella, and I think this is the brother of Pedro Laurens, or Stacchio Laurens. But I don't know, I didn't find any information. In 1945, he met the singer, Luis-Alberto-Fleitas. In 1946, he formed his first orchestra típica. One of his players was Raúl Chaurena, who was later a famous bandoneon player with the New York Tango Trio. He was a latecomer. He started his career when the golden period of tango was already in blossom, so he didn't belong to this time when all the big players. Then he went to the record company Sondor. The orchestra, which is named in the discography, is exactly Orchestra Típica Sondor, direction Donato Racciatti. So it's the official orchestra of the record company.
Like Victor, but different to Victor, they performed on stage.
They performed a lot. He also made a lot of radio work. He wrote sainetes and played with them. He had a big presentation of his sainete in a soccer stadium in Montevideo. And his biggest success was in the years 53 until 60 with Nina Miranda and OLga-Delgrossi, female singers. Well known is Gloria with Nina Miranda. And these two singers, by the way, they continued to Buenos Aires to continue their career after they finished with Racciatti. And he also had countless singers. Some of them passed great orchestras like Fresedo and Canaro, like Carlos Roldan. And he also made his dream come true. He played in the cabaret Marabu in Buenos Aires, which was the place where Carlos Di Sarli, Juan D'Arienzo, Aníbal Troilo performed before him.
So in his time he was not unfamous, we could say.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm. This was our episode number 41 from Around the World in 80 Tangos. Today we make a wish come true of Annegret from Dresden.
And we had Atardecer, the sunset, a recording from 1946 of the Orchestra Típica Sondor, director Donato Racciatti. The singer was Luis-Alberto-Fleitas.
A waltz.
A waltz. The composer is Eduardo-de-Pauli. The lyrics, Antonio Casciani.
Thank you for traveling with us through tangos we love, and we hope you enjoyed. This was
Daniela and Raimund, Tango Mundo, Berlin.
Take care and stay healthy.
Bella luminosa, sueño de mi vida, dueña de mi alma, mi pasión le di. Horas que a su lado felices pasaba, forjando dichoso un nido de amor, mientras que la luna con su luz bañaba sus rubios cabellos cual rayo de sol. Que a su lado felices pasaba, forjando dichoso un nido de amor, mientras que la luna con su luz bañaba sus rubios cabellos cual rayo de sol.